What's up, Skittle McKittles? Once again, I'm reading from Indivisible-Poems for Social Justice. The forward is by Common. I didn't read the whole thing, but I just thought it was interesting that it's by Common. So, and it's edited by Gail Bush and Randy Meyer. So I'm going to read some more excerpts from this book. And so I'll be intermingling some of my stuff and some of their stuff throughout the day as God sees fit. And please forgive me, Lord, for profanity. Help me, Lord, not to allow certain types of people to rub me a certain way. The way that I look at it is that this is my channel, and my channel to me is my home. And so if you come into my home with your muddy shoes on and track footprints everywhere, I really don't like it. So that means that I have to clean up the footprints, and that takes time. And then I have to usher you out of the door. Now, some people are pretty, um, are pretty persistent. They don't, it's harder to push them out the door. You can't just be like, okay, and just kind of walk towards the door and they follow you. Some people you have to tell them, hey, get out. And even when you tell them, hey, get out, they just stand there for a minute. And you stand there looking back at them. And you're like, get out. That's the door. Get out. So, if I want you out, I'll tell you to get out. Get out. Funny story. But anyhow, another thing I wanted to say just in general, you can't tell people what to think and how to respond to things. Now, if they ask you for your opinion, then it's going to be validated, it's going to be used, and it's needed. But if they don't ask you for your opinion, you're only stroking your own goat. And you can go stroke your goat on your page, not here. Okay? If you take the time to comment or put something on my page, and I take the time to let you know how I feel about it, and I'm pretty nice about it, because I'm not a mean person. Unless you keep bothering me, I'm not really mean, but then I will have to tell you, be forced to tell you, just leave me alone. And I mean it. Leave me alone. There was a Jill Scott song that used that phrase. And I mean it. Da 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 da. You better chill. And I mean it. Da 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 da. Oh, speaking of Jill Scott, did you see her performance? And I don't know how old it is, of Strange Fruit on A&E. If you get a chance, you can Google it on YouTube. It is phenomenal. It's better than any version I've heard, and it made my soul move, my soul ache. I could see it. I remember when I first heard the song Strange Fruit, I didn't know what it was about. I didn't understand it until ninth grade. My English teacher had to explain it to me because it was mentioned, and I was like, oh yeah, I saw that poem before, but I didn't get it. And she told me, because I think I saw it when I was real little, like third grade or something. And probably at that age, people really didn't want to explain that to you, but yeah. So, yeah. So, my page is like my home, my house. And so, that's why I'm able to greet you so nicely, because I'm welcoming you into my home. But anyhow, so long story short, in that, I like my home in this cyber world home and otherwise. And, you know, I want to be able to greet, guests at my home warmly. So, again, if you do not qualify to be a guest at my home, meaning you do not have basic grammar skills, I'm not perfect, because in my old age, I've gotten dumber and dumber. I mean, because you're exposed to all this stuff, and when you see people spelling you're the wrong way or they're the wrong way, it's imprinted. And then eventually, if you see it enough and nobody corrects it, your brain says it's okay, and you start doing the same thing. If you cannot understand that you plus R equals your, as in you are your, don't come to my page. Do not. You're just a nuisance. Yeah, I said it. It seems petty, but that's how I feel. Do not, do not. And if you do come to my page, don't comment. Shh, don't comment. If you cannot put together that you plus R equals your, if you cannot take the time to look at your stuff before you hit the comment button, if you cannot, because I'm imperfect too. I'm sure I left stuff on folks' pages, but if you cannot take the fact that somebody noticed it and says, "Hey, you plus R equals your," because you're in my house and you're my guest, I'll just let you know. Take your shoes off at the door. That's all. But if you decide that, okay, that time maybe you weren't prepared to take your shoes off at the door, but I told you, so you was like, okay, I'll see you later, and you walked away. But then you come back and want to wear your muddy shoes again. I'm not telling you again to take your shoes off at the door, because you knew that was the rule the last time you came. I'm just telling you to don't come back. Get out. And I mean it. And I mean it. You can get out, boy. You better get away. Whoever. And I mean it. Get out. Get out. There's a lot of things in this world I can think about, and I don't want to think about you and your poor grammar. I don't want to think about you and how you're whining and crying that somebody didn't respond the way that you wanted them to respond on my page. When really, you didn't have to be on my page. You didn't have to come and elicit a response from me. You could have got your response and the kind of response that you wanted from yourself on your page. Anyhow, okay, I need to change this. Okay, let's see how we can change. We're going to segue. See if I can do something off the top of my head. Political realness, I enjoy the stillness of the quiet vibe around me. Reminiscence of the night, sight beyond sight, as my dreams feel like they're all around me. Though I don't recall nary a one, I know it was fun because I woke up with the stain on my face. The pleasure of goodness and the bittersweet of the morning aftertaste. I don't know why my poems are like that when I do it off the top of my head verbally. When I do it off the top of my head writing is different. Passions unrequited, a night that ignited a fire in my soul. I like fantasy better than the reality because the truth is even better to behold. Reality seems like a lie when you think of all of the murders and the killings of people just walking by. And fantasy takes me back to a place when times was better, when I was more of a go-getter. And the thought of love made me... See, I shouldn't go there. See, I'm just going to say it because I started and I shouldn't, but I am, and this is the wrong thing to do. The thought of love made me better. So I'm going to stop the impromptu thing because for some reason, I don't know why, but all of my things when I do impromptu, or at least this is the second one that's kind of went off to the wrong side. And I don't know why it does that. Like when I write poetry or when I type it, it still flows free, but when I write or I type it, it doesn't go that way. But so let's get our mind back onto the right poetry here. Again, back to Indivisible-Poems for Social Justice. This poem is by Amiri Baraka. Wise One. And this is what it looks like. And I'm putting this because she spells it a little different. Wise One, W-I-S. Well, is it Wise One or Wise I? So she's using some type of really neat wordplay, and I like it already. And the reason I showed you is because I noticed in this first line is Wise, W-H-Y-S, and the title is Wise I or Wise One, or it could be Wise I. I didn't think about that until I saw the W-H-Y-S. But let's see what Amiri Baraka is talking about. Amiri Baraka says, wise, nobody knows the trouble I see. Traditional. I guess she's saying it's somewhere like in that that song tune or something. She says, if you ever find yourself somewhere lost and surrounded by enemies who won't let you speak in your own language, who destroy your statues and instruments, who ban you, om bam boom boom, then you are in trouble, deep trouble. They ban your own boom ba boom. You in deep, deep trouble. Probably take you several hundred years to get out. She's talking about slavery. I'm going to read it again. If you ever find yourself somewhere lost and surrounded by enemies who won't let you speak in your own language, who destroy your statue, and this is deep because won't let you speak in your own language. That's like even saying in today's world, it's a different form of slavery. If you find yourself in a situation where everybody is against you, or do not have your best interest in sight, and they won't let you speak in your own language, meaning they won't let you be who you are. Okay? Who destroys your statues and instruments. So they destroy everything that you hold dear, that you're proud of. Like if you're proud of goodness, if you're proud of doing, recording things out as they are and doing things the right way. So they destroy your statues and your instruments. And yesterday I started to talk about the different types of power. And there's a power called knowledge power, or it's not really called knowledge power, but it has to deal with, based on the things that you know, informational power. And it takes, and to me, with this, for me personally, the way I translate it for me, because I translate it for my own personal situation, like we all do, but I'm aware that I do that. It says, by enemies who won't let you speak in your own language, who destroy your statues and instruments. So again, that informational power, if that was your instrument or your statue, informational power and reporting things as seen, and that's destroyed, you know, you're being denied the use of the information that you have. Oh, the system does that. You're being denied the use, does that with not only use of information you have, but everything you have. You're being denied the use of the information that you have. You're being denied, statues to me represent tenets, the strongholds in your life, your moral grounding, the things that are the foundation of who you are. You're being, something just knocked. You're being, it's like, boom, just one time. Um, okay. You're being denied, your foundations. Then you are in trouble, deep trouble. They ban your own heartbeat. So I think, boom, 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 boom. They ban your own rhythm is probably what she's saying. And it'll probably take you several hundred years to get out. So they're taking things that are intangible, your mind and your spirit, your instruments. So I'm going to read it again. Again, Wise One by Amiri Baraka. Wise, W-H-Y-S. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Okay? If you ever find yourself somewhere lost and surrounded by enemies who won't let you speak in your own language, who destroy your statues and instruments, who ban you, om bam ba boom, then you are in trouble, deep trouble. They ban your own own boom ba boom. You in deep, deep trouble. Probably take you 100 years to get out. Let me make sure there's not a second page because I missed that the last time. Nope, no second page. How long is this poem? It took me a while because I went into other stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and post this as a separate.